Episode 26, boys.
We made it again.
That's half a year, I believe, if the math serves me correct. So happy 6-month anniversary, kiddos.
We made it.
Okay, no, fine. It's fine. Fuck
I
all
don't
of you. Fuck all of you. I bring
already.
exciting tidings of great joy, and Troy's over here like, I just want to break up. The spark was gone a year ago.
I think we should let Molly and Courtney take me and Chase's place.
Hey, that's in the works, not for this one, for another podcast called Snake Ladies.
I kind of meant forever, for the rest of the show's existence.
I just don't know why you don't want to be here, Troy. That's kind of hurtful.
I love the energy. I really love the energy.
It's mostly you, Patrick.
Is it just me you don't like? Is that what it is? Wow. Huh. And here I was going to dedicate 93 minutes to just you, and we were only going to give Brian 3 minutes. And now we're going to have to reverse that, and Brian gets all the time, and you don't get any. How does that feel?
All right.
Is that better? Yeah. That's probably a better format anyway. Hey, Brian, how are you doing?
Hey, doing good, man. Doing good. Glad to be here.
Awesome, man. Thanks for joining us. I guess we should stop bullying Troy for just a moment. We can start with Chase today. Chase, best and worst of the week. Go.
Oh man, I honestly didn't really have a worst of the week. Pretty good week all around. It was a short week for me. I'm actually up here in Louisville hanging out with my family and just getting some good family time in. So happy to be doing that. So I have nothing bad to say. It's all positive.
Nothing bad. Ugh,
no,
gross.
This week's all positive.
Gross. Brian, how about you?
I don't know how the feed went, so.
There we go. That's good.
No feed knowledge. Oh man, I mean, two bests really. I mean, it was we've talked about the struggles I've had in the Reddit run the last 4 or 5 months, and finally, we had a record pull this week, and I'm probably 3 weeks from being back to exactly where I need to be. So I'm stoked about that. And this was the first week of pairing hognose, which was a pretty exciting thing, to be branching out, which we're going to do even more, but this year's the hognose. And all the females seemed really receptive. Probably the worst part of the week was coming in to check the hognose, and no, male didn't get eaten at first.
Damn it!
He was under the substrate around the water bowl. I thought for sure my Oconda het sable was going to be a turd, but no. So I come in and check this morning, and Josh and Alicia, the Herp and Harbins, they've been really doing a good job of helping me, kind of understand the species. I've bred colubers before, but never Western hognose, and they have some more quirky things about them. But came in today and checked and started putting males back in their tubs. Had 6 really good introductions last night. Everything what you think they're supposed to be. And then I'll go to look at a tub and I see a female cruise by at pretty fast pace, and behind her is a male crawling the other direction. She's dragging him around the tub by his dick, and I'm like, that can't be good. I'm like, this is one of those scenarios I never asked about. And because I'm with AT&T, I had no phone service. So I couldn't text anyone. I couldn't call. Well, I couldn't text them. They don't have iPhone. And I couldn't text, couldn't call, so I got on Instagram. I'm like, is that normal? That doesn't seem normal, and they're like, oh, it happens more than you think. Just leave them alone. They'll work it out. And I walked out of the room for 6 hours, came back, and they were separated. But that's a confirmed lock. So I mean, that's.
I think so.
Yeah, it sounds confirmed. He
may never lock again, but I think that would that's a double het live sable pairing. So it should be pretty cool. But no, otherwise, ball python room's going really good. The girls are progressing nicely after a rough year last year. It's nice to see a large percentage of the room growing. 35% is not the ideal, so hopefully we'll get 50-60 clutches this year.
Nice, man.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, that's exciting. Troy, best and worst.
Ooh, best and worst. Best and worst.
Were you not prepared for this question?
I don't know, man.
Okay.
I'll say this. My best part of my week has been the success of the show that me and Nick Salone are putting together in Denver, Colorado, the All-American Reptile and Plant Expo. You guys should all go follow, every social media that you can find of ours.
In
But I'm
2 minutes, we're going to talk exclusively about that for 3 minutes.
Cool. Okay.
So
yeah.
get
Yeah.
ready.
All right. Okay. So, anyways, it's still been a really good part of my week.
Okay.
Worst part of my week. I haven't had any brown sugar this week.
Whoa.
Oh,
I told
proud of you,
Andre
actually.
that you
That's
eat
a good
brown
part for
sugar
me.
out of a bag, and he was like, "Does he fucking want diabetes?" And I was like, "Kinda."
Any
So-
withdrawals? Any
Yeah. What are
delirium
the
tremors,
what?
anything?
Yeah. What's it like not having brown sugar?
Like I know it. Like I know that it's like 20 feet from me at like any point while I'm cruising around the house, and I'm guessing it's a lot like if you were addicted to meth and then you stopped. You know,
I've actually heard that brown sugar intake and meth intake are identical, so that makes sense. Yeah.
probably
Super
similar.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That makes sense. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry
But
about that.
Now that we're talking about this, I'm probably gonna go home tonight and just eat a shit ton of brown sugar.
Why have you been avoiding brown sugar?
I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Okay.
Just to be healthy.
Chase always tells me that I'm a fat piece of shit, and so I'm like, oh, I should probably try to live a couple extra years longer.
Okay.
Yep. You know, I knew it. That text every morning.
Mhm.
It's working.
Uh,
It's paying off.
You should see the text he sends my wife every morning.
well, that's different. That's just setting up plans for Tinley, but that's neither here nor there.
Every time. Just
Yeah.
lay
Oh, by the way,
groundwork.
Lisa might be listening. I don't know yet. Let me try to confirm, but she told me tonight she was going to listen. So I'm going to send her a
Okay.
message.
That feels like a big deal. My wife doesn't listen, that's for sure.
Yeah,
It
let's see.
doesn't either.
Is that because she thinks Beth and me be on here? Or?
She's hoping for a reasonable voice for once. That's good. While Troy's checking that, I'll give best and worst. Worst, had a sinus infection all week, so woe is me. I get to have the man flu, and that sucks. Best of the week. My new employee is absolutely crushing it. That's fantastic. So I'm just gonna say continually Chimera has the best patent. So it's pretty great.
That's not going to go away.
No, it's absolutely not. Chimera far and away has the best patent. Justin really missed out. So
I'll let him know.
that's- yeah.
That dynamic is incredible. It really is.
It worked out well. I am not upset at all. It's pretty great. So it's a win. Troy,
Yeah.
there's been some rumors that you're a little bitter at Molly now and you're not being as nice to her.
That's true.
It's true. Okay.
I no longer feel the same way. She's a traitor. And
A traitor.
so she's now my least favorite sibling of Chase's.
Well, I got to be honest, Troy. I actually saw a hashtag saying hashtag no more Lisa when people were trying to get Molly to go to you.
Yeah.
I just don't think it took off.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Troy, are these real feelings or are you like trying to neg her and you felt like this was
That's
a great
what it
opportunity
is.
to like neg her?
I mean, I have such a strong dislike for you, Patrick, that
yeah.
anybody that works with you is guilty by association.
I like how you really emphasize though. You're like, I have such a strong dislike for you, Patrick. Like he didn't want it to be confused that it was Chase or Brian. Patrick. It's fair. It's fair.
Mm.
You know what, Troy? That's fair. I understand.
I only pick on people I love.
Well, I know, and I'm sorry that I took Molly from you. I would like it to be known you could have also extended a job offer.
Yeah.
So,
The job offer that I extended to her was not something we should probably talk about on
that's fair.
late to the mic.
That's fair. I think you gave her an offer she could refuse.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, it's been a fun week for sure. Tinley Park is coming up soon, boys. If y'all didn't know.
I'm excited.
Yeah, we're right around the corner. Anything exciting coming to the show, anyone? That you want to talk about now? Or are these all secrets? Chase,
They're always they're not really secrets. They're just fun surprises, you know?
Okay, fuck off.
Yeah.
Bruh.
I'd be willing to bet that Justin is going to bring a really nice monarch pied. with some. I'm guessing it's going to be a monarch clown or a monarch pied. That's really pretty.
I like that random guess, Troy.
Yeah.
Oddly specific.
Well, I'm just hoping because the more love for that project, the better I will feel.
Oh
That's
no,
fair.
man, we love the project. I mean, I'm plugging things away right now, so
Yeah, Chase plugs away if you know what I mean.
No, can you
Okay.
explain it to me? I don't know what you mean.
My wife can. I'm trying to get her to get in the comments.
Okay, good.
So
good.
Yeah, I'm literally trying to talk her into just saying hello in the comments so that people know she's here and she's fighting me. So
Wow.
I'm going back to that
Fantastic.
for a minute.
Okay. I like how Troy's like, I know we're in the middle of a podcast, but what's more important right now is just getting my wife to say hi. Like, I
That's
love that. All right. Well, while we ignore Troy because, well, no one
Wait,
really.
speaking of wives, can Brian's wife come on the screen?
Oh, that's true. Brian,
you did put her in the thumbnail. I was
She's in the
that's
thumbnail.
so clickbait. Like I sent Patrick some pictures, and I'm thinking, he's going to cut it out and make it look all nice and everything. And it's just
absolutely not.
Brian and Beth Ann right there in the middle. BC's balls, not Brian, just BC's balls.
Yeah.
But she's kind of come to be known for being at the shows with us and stuff like that. Let me see if I can grab her. Make sure.
Okay, perfect.
I'd like to grab her.
She may get pissed. I don't care.
Oh my God.
Troy,
Troy,
I love
our
the
HR
comment.
department cannot handle all the sexual harassment complaints we've been getting lately.
Well, I mean, you can always fire me.
All I got was but I think she's coming this way.
Oh, okay. All right.
I told her this was a distinct possibility. I'll have to hand off an AirPod. I think we can share.
Well, I'm just gonna say hi.
Oh, I hear that beautiful voice already.
Now I'll just say hi real quick. But I mean, I've got my dog walking
Come here, Eddie.
sweatshirt on and everything.
There isn't anything you could be wearing that would turn me away from wanting to be with you.
This is my wife, Beth Ann.
No, wow. You know what? She's still better looking than you, Brian.
I know.
You don't even deserve that dog.
Hi, real quick.
You got to get over here.
Okay.
There's a camera like pointed
I
this
know,
direction.
I get
there
it.
we go.
Hey,
Yeah.
guys.
Hi. How are we doing?
Doing good. How are y'all doing?
Amazing.
That's
Fantastic.
wonderful.
I
I'm
think it's
looking
so neat.
forward. What? No, go ahead,
Oh,
Troy.
I'm sorry. I was just gonna say it's really neat that you married somebody that could be your daughter.
Oh, wow.
We've been married 24 years.
And it's your story. Tell it how you want. But
She asked me out.
Oof.
That is
How-
actual.
can
truth.
you show us a picture of Brian 24 years ago then? Because that would maybe make more sense.
Or his
Absolutely, yeah.
what did his bank
Yeah.
account look like
This
24
guy
more
with
years
less
ago?
facial hair and
I
less
mean,
brown
he
and more
had-
hair on top.
Yeah, he had a lot more hair, and he had darker hair. There was no gray.
Really good.
Mm.
And when he grew, because
There it
I
is.
love it, he always had a beard, and I love it, but it was like a really dark beard, and I won't
Mm.
let him shave
Mm.
at all.
Did he like talk you into submission? Like what happened there? He just started like talking to you and you couldn't escape? Like what happened?
Well, I soon quickly realized that Brian just had a really big brain.
Ah, that makes sense. Yes. Yeah, see, we all assumed it was his big brain.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes. There we go.
This was a mistake.
See, there we go. The rumor has been confirmed. It all makes sense now. Like this, there's a lot more clarity to this whole situation.
I'll take what I can get, man. I'll take what I can get.
I love that. That's fantastic.
Okay, guys, y'all have a good night.
All right.
Bye.
See ya.
Thanks, baby.
Mhm. Come on, Deborah.
She's so pretty.
Well, she wasn't too upset. Now I don't know how to turn this back on my fucking AirPods.
Mm. It's that big brain coming into action. Fell in love with.
Oh, I turned mic off.
No, you didn't, because we can still hear you talking.
No, wait a minute. We're here. Hang on a second.
I know. Oh, this
We're all
if everybody-
here.
this is Boomer in action, and I'm
Look at
loving
that.
it.
There we go.
I was waiting
Rock
for
on.
one of us
We
to
got
say
it.
it.
With a boomer
That-
in action. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's what I said.
I know I'm the old guy.
That-
I could hear you, asshole.
Ah,
Oh my god.
I wasn't worried if you could hear me or not, Brian. I'm going to be honest.
I know, dude. I can't.
Do you not
shut- I
realize
can't
you just
shut-
come on to get roasted the whole time? Like,
Yeah,
I don't
that's
give a fuck. You know, it's like I turned into fucking Santa Claus or something. Like my son, legit. I've got a freshman at UT, and he's my youngest, and so we're empty nested, which is kind of cool because you know I can have my naked room now. But the like he told me, Dad, you could legit like play Santa Claus and earn some extra money at Christmas. I'm like, you know, I'm good. Like I just don't think. I mean, the thought of that just no.
You just don't want a bunch of little kids sitting in your lap? That's weird. That's like
No.
Troy's dream vacation.
I was gonna say,
I'm gonna leave that to Troy.
Patrick beat me to it, so I'll just leave it alone.
We got there quick. It's fine.
Oh,
Mhm.
that's awesome. I knew it was gonna go there. I mean, it was.
Immediately.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what makes this podcast so great. I mean, it's just like it's literally has become my favorite. I mean, I save it for Tuesday. I wish I could watch it live every week, but I'm old and I need my sleep. But you know, I save it for Tuesday. It gets me through the rotor room. You know, I mean, it's like, and I'm fucking laughing, you know, the whole time. And then usually I call Patrick right after, and I'm like, man, that was really a great show this week. And, yeah, because every one of them has been fucking awesome.
Do you
Yes,
call
continue-
Patrick and tell him how
Continue
great?
to tell us how great we are. Yes,
Do
continue.
you tell him how great like
I'm gonna-
Chase and I are, or do you tell
No, just
like
me.
tell all of us?
Not just me.
It's
No.
just Patrick.
The
It's
show in
just
general, I'm
Patrick.
gonna turn.
Yeah,
my
he
volume down.
specifically
This is fucking
says
killing me.
Troy and Chase are terrible. Patrick, you are literally carrying it on those giant broad shoulders, and I just take it. And it's fair.
I could
You
show
know,
you some
that's-
screenshots from some other people that say otherwise.
That's not entirely accurate, but you know, no, I think all you guys are great. I mean, it's a good dynamic, right? You know what I mean? And I think that's what works and it helps when you're watching people that you know and you talk to and you see at shows on a regular basis and that kind of stuff. And it's different than just coming on with a stranger and like, so what's your most anticipated pairing and what projects are you working? You know, it's always the same questions when you do these things, and that's what I love about
Yeah.
the show is it's. You know, it's entertaining. I mean,
Mm.
I care about what my pairings are, but does anybody else? Probably not until I hatch eggs and list some shit. You know, I mean, it's like
It's fair.
I mean, you know, I mean, I'd rather talk about the other stuff, man. You know, the shows, what's going on, what's relevant. You know,
I'll
just
tell you who's
enjoy-
not relevant.
Who's that?
You.
Why not me?
Anyways, back to our guest.
Wow. That
So
was very
fast.
nice. Yeah, that was kind of. You know what? We're not doing off track Troy for the next 30 seconds. Instead, Troy, I heard about this new show in Denver, Colorado,
Yeah.
run by a couple of yahoos, but maybe one of those yahoos wants to talk for a second about how awesome it's going to be.
Because I heard it's going to be a big deal.
It's going to be a big deal. Yeah. You know, Nick and I and probably a handful of people, I know Trevor is in the comments. You know, we attended a show in Colorado for the last year and a half that was at a Crown Plaza that's being taken over by the city and turned into a homeless shelter. And so the promoter decided not to, you know, seek out, you know, another venue or anything. And we just didn't want to see, you know, that kind of go away. So, you know, we kind of picked up the torch and found a really nice location in Castle Rock. So, you know, just a little south of Denver. And to be honest, man, it's just flowed so well in the last week or two. Like, I think we're up to like 50 vendors that have signed up. You know, ticket sales have started, sponsorships have started. So, you know, shout out to our sponsors, ReptiChip, our good buddy JT. You know,
Fuck that guy.
Oh man, he's
I'm just kidding.
I
I'm just
know.
You
kidding.
gotta be careful. If you say that, he will break through a wall.
He
like
will,
the Kool-Aid
yeah,
Man.
like that'd be great. Like right now, like he's like the Kool-Aid Man. He just pops through Patrick's wall.
He's currently mad at me, so it's okay. I can say it. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. We have Robin at Redline as a sponsor, and then Husbandry Pro. No offense, Chase. You know, don't yell at me or something. They're good people too. I'm just messing with you.
What?
Yeah, but anyways, man, it's been great. And so certainly would love any and all of the support and sharing of our post and all that fun stuff. And so happens the last weekend of April 27th, 28th. And yeah, you know, it's the long and short of it.
Cool.
That's exciting, man. I'm really excited to see this the show come up, and I think it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, man. We've got a couple dates that they're offering us for the fall. So I'm gonna be out there actually on March 1st. I'm going out to the Reef Show in Denver, taking Lisa to the Reef Show. Lisa's a big fan of saltwater fish and whatnot. So while we're there, we're gonna tour the grounds ourselves. Nick and his wife have been there, and so we get to check that out. Yeah, man, it'll be a good time. So.
Is there a website people can pre-order tickets or vendor badges? Or
Yeah. If they just go to All American, website is All American Reptile Plant Expo, or you can find that same deal on either Facebook or Instagram, and we have the links to the website, to the ticket site, and so on. So, yeah.
Okay. You know, if you give me those links, I can start putting them in the YouTube description.
Hey,
really
I'll
help
do
with some
that.
promoting. Yeah.
I will do that, man. I appreciate that. So, yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Brian, for sacrificing 2 minutes of your time for this new exciting show.
Yes, thank you.
I'm just here for the party.
I'm just here for the party. Well, joke's on you, buddy. The cops are getting called soon. Troy, off track with Troy, maybe?
I'm ready.
Do it.
All right. Brian, you ready for this?
I'm ready, brother.
All right, man. I'm gonna start with the heavy question.
Oh shit.
All right, here we go. You have 5 minutes left to live, right? These 5 minutes. In those 5 minutes, what's the one thing you want to do, and who do you want to do it with? Don't be weird.
I think I'd just hug my wife. To be honest with you.
Good
I mean,
answer.
that sounds cliche, but if I've only got 5 minutes, odds are she's the only one around. I'd probably pet my dog too. I wouldn't clean up the cat vomit that's on the floor because fuck them. I only got 5 minutes, you know. So yeah, I pet the dog, hug the wife, and say peace out.
Sucks to be your kids.
Well, my kids aren't here, you know. So I mean, yeah.
Touché.
What if you could snap your fingers in those 5 minutes and be anywhere? Like, would you?
I'd want all my kids and grandkids and wife and family and everybody to be together in one big hug. You know, let's go out in style.
Nice. All right, that's good stuff, man. That's wholesome. I like it.
I'm nothing if not wholesome.
Yeah, good, lovely,
It's kind of a joke, but
beautiful stuff. All right, if you were famous, what would your stage name be?
ooh, fuck, I wasn't ready for that one. I don't know. My uncles and grandparents always called me Bruno, so maybe Bruno. I don't know.
Mm.
Why did they call you Bruno?
Fuck, I don't know. I mean, I probably did something stupid at some point in time, and one of them said, "Well, Bruno," and it stuck, you know. But
All right.
most people call me BC. Like that's how everything came about. I've been called by my initials since grade school.
Yeah, like now, welcome to the stage, BC. That would be I like that. What
Didn't have the
item?
impact you were hoping for there, Troy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. What item do you hope will be obsolete in the next 20 years?
Wow.
Don't say ball pythons.
Oh, fuck no.
They were obsolete 20 years ago.
Well, yeah. So are we past that point?
Yeah.
But now, fuck, man, I don't know. I mean, gasoline powered cars, the way things are going.
All right. So you want a bunch of Teslas just burning up in people's
I
driveways?
didn't say that's what I want. I said if you think of something that's going to become obsolete in 20 years, that's probably my best bet.
Yeah. Yeah. The oil guys might try to fight you on that one, right?
Well, they will, but 25 years in the
Yeah.
oil business, I mean, it's coming.
Yeah. All right.
I don't like it. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I'll fight it all the way. I'm an old guy that likes his trucks with his power, and I don't want to stop every 250, 300 miles and recharge somewhere. Or
It's gonna suck, especially for us guys that drive across the country with snakes and shit, man. That's gonna take me a long time to get to California.
You'll be fine.
I've got a friend that's got a Hummer EV, and when they left for vacation, he and his son actually left for vacation a day early so they could plan spots to stop and charge and stay, and then go and stop and charge and stay. But, you know, 1,000 horsepower is pretty fun too. So it's kind of
There's trade-offs.
if I had a extra, if I had Justin's garage, I would probably have some sort of electric high powered vehicle in there, but it would not be my daily driver.
Do you have a favorite line from a movie?
Ooh, shit! I quote movies all the time. I can think of a million. Blazing Saddles. Where the white women at?
Yes. Yes.
That's
there's
a good
not
one,
many,
man. I'm
there's
glad
not
you
many
went with that
Blazing
one.
Saddles lines you can just use live on a podcast, but that's the best one if you out of those.
Yeah,
I
that's
had to
great,
think about
man.
it a minute. I knew I wanted to go from that movie, but it was like most
That-
of it I can't say.
Man, that's one of my
today.
favorite movies.
Just imagine if that movie was produced today. Like it wouldn't make it.
Yeah.
It wouldn't make it
no.
past script reading. Like it would be
No.
done. It'd be like fuck no.
No, it would
Yeah.
end very poorly for sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, the same could be said for most stand-up comedies from the 80s and 90s. Eddie Murphy Raw. And,
Eddie Murphy Raw. Yeah.
Richard
so
Pryor
good.
and on Live on the Sunset Strip and stuff like that.
I got some ice cream. You don't got no ice cream.
Red
I love that they
Fox,
say that you couldn't even do like Tropic Thunder now.
Oh, absolutely not.
It's so
No.
good though. It's
and that's
so
such
good.
that's such a
Yeah.
quotable movie. I mean,
all the time.
yeah.
That's good stuff,
Like
man.
I love the character that oh God, what's his freaking name? I'm drawing a blank. Is it Robert Downey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, I love that character. I mean, it's just I literally watched that last night when I was going to bed. It's one of the movies that popped up on one of the fucking services we have. That's awesome.
Last thing, tell everybody something that nobody knows about you.
Think of something good. Something no one knows about me.
Don't be like the last Brian and tell us about your wiener. That was weird.
No, I'm gonna go with something potentially embarrassing for myself, but fuck, it's something that hardly anybody knows about me. I never actually passed a high school math credit, but
I mean, neither did Troy, so that's
got but got a 29 on my first shot at the ACT and entered into college on partial scholarship on a GED. I didn't do well with daily work. I think
I like how Brian started that way. I'm going to tell y'all something embarrassing. I got into college with a 29 and a partial scholarship. I'm so embarrassed.
No, but on a GED, I never attended high school as a senior.
Oh, so now you're saying GEDs are embarrassing. How do you feel, Troy? How do you feel? You're embarrassing.
I'm not embarrassed at all. High school was a fucking joke to me. Everybody says it's the best time of your life. It was not for me.
No.
College is pretty fucking fun, but high school not so much.
I tried college for about 4 weeks, man, and found out just school altogether is not for me.
No,
I didn't graduate, but it was mainly due to my dad going for a decent stint in prison, and
oh wow,
that stopped being paid for, and Beth Ann and I had $600 to our name to find a car and a place to live, and she was just my girlfriend at the time that was living with me, and we pulled our bootstraps up and got from there to here.
Why did your dad go to prison?
He was a doctor, prescription writing practices, Medicaid fraud, Medicare fraud. It was a
all the normal stuff actually, but
I say it's my dad. It's it's my adoptive father. He married my mom when I was 7. I was actually born Brian Keith, and he married my mom when I was 7, and wanted me to have his last name, so he formally adopted me and gave me his last name. And then when he and my mom got divorced, he married one of my high school classmates and just kind of went batshit crazy. So
see, Brian, you and I, it's like almost the same cloth, except for my biological dad went to prison and my adopted father is a good man.
Well, I actually, and I haven't tried a big reconciliation, but I actually accidentally found my biological father when I did an ancestry swab of all things. And my son came home. I'm not going to say his name on here, but my son came home and said, "Who is this person?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Well, he just popped up on my ancestry as my grandfather." And I went to Ancestry and I had a message. I mean, I literally just did the swab because it was a Christmas present. My wife wanted me to do it. And I was like, okay, I'm 4% Northern African and mostly Sweden and Wales and stuff like that. And, once I looked at it once, I'm like, okay, I'm good. And I was in the rodent room when Brody asked me that. And I looked down at my phone and I had a message, and he was like, were you by any chance born, here, here, and here? And man, there was a lot of irony. And, we probably had an hour and a half conversation. I'm not missing anything there. And I didn't expect anything from him. It was just, nice to know, he called to talk about like, family health history and stuff like that. And he's 85 or 86 and not in the best health, but he's a minister. I kind of went the opposite direction there a little bit, but he's a retired minister, but he's always had snakes. He's always loved to fish, and he spent a lot of time in the car business. So it's kind of ironic that the biological father I never met kind of took a similar path to me outside the ministry.
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, it was nuts. To hear your son say, "Who is this?" and not know, and I mean, it was it was pretty nuts. You don't expect shit like that to happen, but it just does sometimes. And he still follows. Likes my Facebook posts and stuff. Comments on the snakes sometimes. And eventually, we might try to get down there and see him. I don't know though. Like I'm 54. He's 85. He's got a family. I've got a family. Listen, it's cool that I know who it is, but beyond that. I mean, I don't need anything, from anybody.
Yeah, man, that's pretty awesome. Well, I kind of hope that you meet him, face to face one time. I think that's probably worth it in your lifetime, but that's just my 2 cents.
Absolutely, yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
If I ever do Daytona, maybe I can get down.
We all go to Daytona and we just hang out, so you can just use Daytona as an excuse.
My issue with Daytona right now is work. I mean, I'm at the point where, I mean, if I really wanted to squeeze, I probably could take this full time. But it's, I've got a job that I enjoy with a company I like working for, and I get to work from home. It's not very hard work. It's not super time consuming. It allows me, sometimes annoying because I'm back and forth from the snake room, but I get my steps in coming up and down the stairs to my office area. And, I go down there and do my work and then come back up to the snake room. And then 5 minutes later, go down there and do a little more work and then come back to the snake room. And, it's kind of a repeat process all day. I think I'm wearing out like a divot in the floor, going back and forth between the snake room and the computer. But, I've been with this company since 2006 and they've been really good to me. So I'm trying to do my best for them and keep up with everything here. It's a balance. My son was here today he works for me on Thursdays for spending money. And, he was here doing the rodent room grunt work. I call it dumping tubs, spraying tubs, prepping.
He's how old?
He's 19, just turned 19. He's prepping tubs and all that stuff. I think Troy and I just switched. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But are we going to do this like musical people?
Yeah, definitely. It'll be fine.
That threw me off. I was like, was that me? I didn't think I took that.
You did disappear. Yeah.
But no, he was here doing all that stuff and everything, and just a good day to see him. Even though he's only 5 miles away at college, living in the dorm, it's nice to have that little bit of help because that's literally pretty much the only help I get. I'm fairly a solo operation when it comes to the snake room. I mean, Beth Ann's great at shows. She is a rock star when it comes to set up and tear down and dealing with people and buying plants and isopods and that kind of stuff. But, when it comes to the snakes themselves and cleaning tubs and that's not so much her thing. But, she's got a really good job that enables me to do what I want to do. So, we're not going to set any rules there.
Yeah, it's nice to have a helping hand, man. Michael, what I should have said earlier when you asked me about my worst part, Patrick, is Michael had a really bad seizure this week. And we had to deal with that. The silver lining of that is he's got a little time off of work. And so, just like you, Brian, my kid's 22 and he'll hop in the snake room and he just picks up my slack really, right? Like, picking up here and there, cleaning tubs or whatever. And so it's a huge help to have him around. And otherwise, man, it's tough to take this all on your own.
Yeah, that's terrifying, man.
Dude, I'm sorry to hear that.
And
he's good.
You know, and I met him at was that St. Louis or Tinley? St. Louis. I think.
St. Louis Michael's
Yeah,
with
St.
me. Yep.
Louis. I mean, I thought he was like I saw him come back from the bar with like a cranberry drink, and I'm like, he's like 15, right?
It's
You know
so
what I mean?
funny,
Because
like
he
when
looks
he's with
so
me.
young.
Yeah, you know, he came to the Minnesota show with me, and it was like me and Adam from Proper Royals, and
Adam was
Mark
at
and
our
those guys,
wedding,
and and so this 18-year-old girl's there, and she's like, "How old is he?" And I was like, 22, and she's like, "No, there's no way," and so it's funny to hear, like, he looks really young.
Money. I would have bet a lot of money. I was like, "Damn, they'll serve anybody here," you know?
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
And he's like, "I'm 22," and I'm like, everybody at the table, remember Judy and Robin, and everybody were like, "Whoa, wait, what? You know, you're 22?"
Yeah. He
I
definitely.
didn't get those genes. He'll be thankful for those genes later on in life. You know.
Yes. I don't know where he got them.
Troy's
didn't get him.
74. He just hasn't he's just being modest.
Yeah, he'll be a really good looking old man someday.
There you go.
Yep.
Just like me.
There you go.
100%.
Patrick's immediately sitting there like thinking, yeah, fuck right.
Love it.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good.
Man.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. A beautiful, beautiful old man, Brian. Don't worry. You're good.
Yeah,
You're good.
comfortable in my skin.
Somebody needs to be.
Not Hannibal Lecter.
Well,
Wait.
no.
Oh, there you go.
I'm silencing my mic because I'm calling my wife to tell her how to
Why?
get onto the comments.
Oh my god.
Oh, he's obsessed.
All right,
He
let's
just
get
wants to
back.
be seen by his wife
I really
so
want.
badly.
Okay, bye.
He's gonna
Hold
he's
on.
gonna ask
Hold
her
on,
if she
guys.
would date
I
him.
can unmute him.
Oh, that's true. You can.
I can unmute him. He's watching the camera now so tight. He's like, I'm gonna mute and then unmute and then mute. Oh, anyway.
See, Molly's trying to destroy me in the comments. She's bringing me her homemade pretzels and her homemade cookies tomorrow because I need them.
Oh, I'm so sorry that your family cares about you and is bringing you homemade baked goods. Please tell me more about your functional family life. Ace.
I know it's a real problem. Like we all get along way too well.
It's
I mean,
gross.
I honestly can't imagine anybody not getting along with Chase. I mean, I'm just
Thank you. You should hear Patrick and I.
You should spend some time at Canova and see how him and Justin interact then.
Well, I mean,
you guys have not seen us at like
sometimes
midnight.
He just has to get Justin to listen, right?
Yeah.
It just doesn't.
Yeah, let me tell you, Justin and I at midnight in the snake room. Sometimes that's holding the flashlight for Dad, and you're not doing a good job at it.
Oh my god! Hey, fucker! I said hold the flashlight.
I'd like to be a fly on the wall when Patrick and Andre are scanning or some shit. Like, I can imagine how. Actually, scanning probably would be too fun. Something that's like a mundane bullshit task. We've all got them.
Look, I'm gonna spoil it for you right here. Here's what happens. I say, for fuck's sake, I'm over this shit. He's like, yep, it's pretty terrible. And that's about the extent of it. It's not as exciting as you'd hope.
What was it? The color of the roof?
I mean, yeah, awesome. We definitely we'll argue occasionally over the most stupid shit, but it's you know what? Like part of our problem is I don't think we always communicate the best when we disagree. So it ends up we both say our piece, but then we just stop talking. So there's no fireworks very often. Occasionally there'll be text message fireworks, and those get to be adventurous, but no, it's not.
Because the written word can cut even more than spoken, sometimes. And
the problem is sometimes I think we read text messages with intent instead of what they intended. And so there's definitely been some times where not just with Andre, with other people too, where I've read it one way and I've been well, I guess we're going to war today. And then I'll ask Amelia, I'll be like, hey, can you read this real fast and just tell me what you think it's saying? And she'll say it. And I'm like, so this is how I took it. And she's like, yeah, you're just being a sensitive little bitch. And I'm like, okay, well,
see,
that's I won't respond.
That's funny because I can't do that with Abby, because I'll show Abby something that Troy sends and she's like, I don't know, I think he might be mad. I'm like, what? How's he mad? And he sent it to our group. Like that's the best part.
Yeah.
Beth
Is
Ann's
Troy mad?
constantly
Troy mad
asking
at
me
us?
if I'm mad. Like, are you mad? Are you okay? Are you mad? Are you mad? And I'm like, what the fuck would I be mad about? We just had a great dinner and now we're watching our show and you just
Yes.
pause and ask me if I'm mad. I'm like, no, I'm not mad about anything. Tired, maybe, not mad.
Mhm. Hey, Brian, real quick, remind me what kind of dealership do you work for?
We had two dealerships. It was a Buick GMC dealership and a Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram dealership. And it was I guess 2019 is when we sold the Jeep store. And so now it's Buick GMC dealership. They've been, the same family's owned it since 1957. So it's not one of those dealerships that one of the big groups have bought and then, left the name on it and pay the old owner to do a few commercial spots to make it seem like it's still, Jimmy John Chevrolet, but, it's Rice Buick GMC in Knoxville. We just crushed the competition all around. I mean, it's a great place to work, but they've built such roots in this community. And with the University of Tennessee, they're both varsity athletes. They, very active in the community, active in youth ministry and stuff like that. And it's just, people like to do business with good people. That's what I've tried to, explain to anybody I've tried to help in this business. I mean, I haven't been in it as long as some of you have. I've been in it longer than a lot, but the one thing that I feel like everybody, needs to do is just try to be a little bit better to everybody on a day-to-day basis. I mean, it's not that hard, I mean, there's so many, it's clicky and there's the, so-and-so's talking shit about so-and-so and so-and-so's talking. I mean, it kind of reminds me of high school a lot of times. And it's a bunch of grown men doing it, a bunch of tattooed grown men doing it, and it's like, except Chase.
yeah, you're right. I have none. So
I come from the car sales world too, Brian. I sold for about 8 years at a Ford, Lincoln, Mercury, Toyota dealership. Do you feel like having some car sales background of things, like, do you feel like it's helped you in the snake world?
Oh, I don't think I would have ever even came up with the concept to do what I do now if not for the experience gained in the car business. My focus for about the last decade has been e-commerce and, business development and things like that. Reputation management, which is why I went on a batshit crazy posting spree to take care of my Google reviews when that idiot that screwed up your auction and left me a bad review decided to.
I believe that was all your fault, by the way.
Probably was. I mean, ask Beth Ann, she'll say it was. But, I mean, it's, I think that it's a direct translation. I mean, I answer whenever someone inquires online about a car, it doesn't matter, cars.com, car guru, there's dozens of places that people can find their inventory. And, when they send in that inquiry, the first response, 100% of the time, unless I'm at a show or something, it comes for me personally. It's not automated. It's not, it's a shell. I stopped short of calling it a template because, I do personalize each one based on the individual situation. But, and then, I fire out that first response to them, usually 7 days a week. I mean, I'm home, I'm working from home anyway. I mean, a lot of people think working from home, you're just going to sit around and, watch movies all day. And I mean, at first there was a little bit of adjustment, but now, my son even said this to me today because I don't want to say we had words, but we had a discussion about something. And, I explained to him, I was like, you got to understand, unless I'm at a show, at a UT football game, or we're on vacation, I'm at work 7 days a week. If I'm awake, I'm at work. You know what I mean? Like, and when you work from home that long, it's different with running a business, but when you're working for someone else, you always you want to put your best foot forward for anything that you do. I don't want to half-ass do either thing that I'm doing.
Kind of like Patrick does this podcast while he's on his cell phone and our guest is talking.
I don't know. He was looking pretty serious. I'm pretty sure he was just
somebody just got fired. It's fine. Don't worry about it, guys.
Oh, he fired Molly. I'll like her again.
Yeah, she's done. So
my wife fired somebody today.
Oh, that's fun.
That was fun. Yeah, she goes through assistants like shit through a goose. But hopefully she'll get a good one this time. She had one that she really liked that was there for a long time, and I think she's measuring everyone up to their standards. You know what I mean?
What does your wife do?
She is. Man, it's a mouthful. She started as a temp receptionist with an architecture and engineering firm in 2007, and now she's secretary of the company, board of directors, principal shareholder, chamber. She was the chair of the Chamber of Commerce for several years. Her official title is office manager.
Okay.
But it's the ownership that they've allowed her in the company and the real estate company that owns the building that pays rent to it that has made her job a lot more lucrative than just a base salary.
Hey, look who's in the comments. Good old Lisa Schroeder.
Oh, it's Lisa.
Oh, good.
Hey, Lisa.
My biggest fan is now in the comments. That's a good
Well,
deal.
biggest fan. Are you calling my wife fat?
I love that we have spent 46 minutes for this joke. I like it.
Yeah.
Troy, thank you
Troy,
for the
was it worth it?
commitment. And Lisa, thank you for commenting.
She hates us.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I like how the only comment we're going to get is, please, Molly, take him back.
Yeah.
That's like
Nobody really loves me.
hello, right?
Oh, it's so.
Yeah, it's just been 27 years of Lisa throwing rocks at me.
That's it?
Yeah.
You know what's so funny is this is Troy at a show too. Like this is not an act at all.
No.
I don't know if that's funny or
Troy.
sad, actually, bro.
This is Troy uncensored. Well,
Yeah.
it's a little more upbeat show. You know, I mean, sometimes I think we catch him at 10 o'clock at night at the end of the day. I think he's just, kind of maybe getting tired.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Sometimes.
Troy?
Yeah.
Troy?
Sometimes I'm like, I shouldn't even show up to the show because I'm not in the mood, and it usually shows, and then I feel bad. But it is what it is.
Not bad enough to fix it. So every show, he's just not in the mood. It's good. That's good, Troy. Thanks. I appreciate that.
But you know what?
You know?
He didn't have any brown sugar this week. He's still on probiotics. Like, we're moving in the right direction.
I just ordered 3 more bottles.
So if
Oh
we
my
send you
God.
a cold pod, are you going to start using it?
Oh fuck yeah!
No.
I'm bringing
Listen.
a cold pod with me to Tinley. Are you gonna partake,
Yes.
Troy?
Every morning, Lisa's like, "Are you gonna get in the cold pod?" And I'm like, "No." And like, I'll give her like a hug, and she's like freezing cold, and I'm like,
Wait,
why would
Lisa's
I-
doing it?
Lisa's doing it?
"Yeah, we have one in the basement, and we have a sauna now that Lisa got." Like,
I had no fucking
Okay,
idea.
so Lisa's
Lisa,
a hard
go
core.
you!
I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
Cold pod. Is it like?
It's an ice bath.
It's
basically-
it's a dirty
it's an ice
bathtub. It's right. So don't get me wrong. My wife is a very clean person, but she gets in there. I don't want to get in her with her funk and shit and whatever. That's gross.
Dude, a cap of bleach every 2 days.
You
You're
get in
fine.
hot tubs with strangers.
Oh, Lisa, cap of bleach. Hear that? Yeah. All right. Let's hope she's still listening.
Oh
Yeah,
my goodness!
I don't desire the ice bath. Like,
No.
Aw,
That's
dude,
what makes it. You get more
there-
benefits not desiring it. Trust me.
there's nothing better than a cold pod plunge. Oh,
I'm
What,
man.
what do you guys keep yours temperature wise at? I bet
40
it's-
degrees.
Yeah, colder
right
than
now,
Lisa.
mine's been hanging around 35.
Lisa's a sissy. Hers is like 51.
Oh, that's
Well,
not
but
cold
Jesus.
enough.
I thought you were
mean,
talking about
maybe
your
for her.
thermostats. I'm like, what the fuck? You guys are paying
Oh,
some hella bills.
I don't. Well, no, I mean,
Not right
you
now.
know,
You would be, but
yeah, during the winter, we set the heat to 60, and
I'm 74 year round.
What?
Say,
Fuck.
yeah, and still
fuck that, you goddamn lizard! Get
Oh, I
out
know,
of
that's
here!
what people say. Oh, my buddy Zach he came up and helped me at a St. Louis show, and he stayed in the, like, you know how the hotels there have those separate rooms and all that, and he stayed in the couch room and I stayed in the bedroom, and it was on me for him to help me. And he was like, he kept getting up and turning it down, and I'd wake up and be like, fuck, and I'd look at it and be like on 64.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd turn it back up on like 70. I'm like, let's just
Ugh.
compromise somewhere in the middle. You can't be
No,
much lower than
70
I don't
is
like to be
not
real
a
hot at
compromise. It's
night.
66
How-
in our house right now.
Yeah, how can you sleep at 70 degrees? I would die. I literally woke up yesterday, or I'm sorry, this morning, and it was 43 degrees in my house, and I was in fucking heaven. Oh, it was so great.
43 degrees in my house, I'd be calling the HVAC company. I mean, it's So one of the first things I do in the morning, I get up, do whatever I need to do, come upstairs, catch up with work and everything, and then I immediately go to the snake room because it's like I'm cold and I need to warm up. I mean, it's just like that. Plus, we live in the basement basically. The entire upstairs of our house is snake room. I mean, it's the master bedroom is the adult room, another bedroom's the juvenile room. I'm in my son's bedroom now, which he's away at college, but he still has a bedroom. It's the hognose room. We've got the Will Banks over there, and that kind of stuff. So the desk that my camera is sitting on right now is going to have racks sitting on it as soon as I get a concept of how many slots I'm going to need. Because with hognose, I mean, they could lay 10, they could lay 40. You don't know until they start popping them out. So, Chris assured me he could turn around the pencil tubs pretty quick. So we'll just kind of go on a wait and see for that. Because, I mean, all my girls are first-year girls, and you just never know. I mean, I've had years with first-year breeder ball pythons that were the 2.5-year-olds that, plenty of size and everything. That in 2022, I paired 14 2-year-olds that I hatched. 12 went, averaged 9.4 eggs per clutch, and then last year I had maybe like 2 go, that were new girls. So I'm not confident that I'm going to have a big hognose season, but I am very hopeful and optimistic that it'll be good, even if my boy does have one ripped off penis.
Well, that's why they come with 2, so that one can get ripped off.
Oh no, I don't think it got ripped off, but it was definitely uncomfortable for the dude. The look on his face was fucking priceless.
Well,
I mean,
Brian, if somebody tied a rope around your dick and started driving you around, how would you feel?
That's what they do.
You probably have some feelings about that too.
I think Bethany got him. That's exactly what happened.
Is that what happened? She lassoed his dick. She
came in and told him he had a big brain. That's what it was.
That's what
Jesus. Fuck.
Brian, what are your biggest projects you're working on? Like, what's kind of your favorite thing?
I mean, the clown will always be king here. You know what I mean? Like I've got a lot of, long-term goals. I mean, obviously I'm not shooting for the quad, but I've got, one of the big projects I like is the VPI DG clown pod, project.
Oh, yeah.
So got a lot of pieces to that to try and get there. I'll have my first shot at triples next year, which is DG clown pod. Patrick, has been somewhat of a mentor to me a little bit, when it comes to project planning and stuff like that. And he told me to shit or get off the pot when it came to lavender, because, it was like I was working lavender, but I just, it's like, what do I want to put into it? What do I could, and then I saw the sunset lavender, and I never was really a big fan of sunset. And I saw that sunset lavender, and I was like, Miguel, what you got hanging out there? So I ended up picking up a sunset male that's breeding like a champ, and so he's seeing some blackhead lavender, some dreamsicles, some
nice
lesser lavenders, several single gene lavenders. One of them didn't go back on food very good after laying, so I'm not going to give her the year off. But I should have, if 50% go, I should have 4 or 5 nice clutches of co-down double hets with blackhead, black pastel, yellow belly, butter, of course. Another thing Patrick points out is how much butter I have in the collection. But
you know what? I think Tony at Next Level would be pretty excited about that.
Oh man, so. Yeah. If Tony wasn't hanging over at that other podcast, this would be the greatest thing ever.
Wait, right? Tony's not fucking here right now.
No. Tony's dead. Tony's not dead to me.
What the fuck is wrong with Tony? I say so many nice things about that motherfucker, and he's not hanging out with us.
I will be sure to message him right now and let him know how we feel.
Let him know right now that I gave him a moderate roasting shout out, and he can't be bothered here to respond to it. Dick move. Anyway.
No, Brian, I totally agree, man. I as soon as I saw like the Sunset Lav, I was like, you know what? That's actually pretty cool. That's something I kind of want to work for and make some stuff for ourselves. So I'm pretty excited about that project as well. And then same with Sunset DG. Like I felt kind of when I first saw it, I was like, I'm a little underwhelmed by it. But then
as it ages,
as it ages, it got so nice. So I was really excited to start, really put some stuff together. And we've had great success with that this year. I'm super thankful. So
well, I'm gonna have to test mine because he is 50% het DG.
oh yeah. I test that.
You know, test them and see. But right now, all my DG stuff is seeing the chocolate. That's probably the male I'm most excited about breeding this year is the male chocolate black pastel hypo DG het clown.
Nice.
That, you know, also came from Miguel, but it was a, you know, I love the way Miguel, the way he deals is just almost funny. Like I love dealing with him on a transaction. I've only bought a couple of animals from him, you know, but you know, I always end up like getting more than one. Like, you know, it's like, well, we can do your offer, or if we do what I'm asking, what if I throw in this and this? And I'm like, you know, I mean, it's better than anything else I have. Fucking send it. You know what I mean? Let's just do it. But you know, that's a big one. G-Stripe Clown has been something that I've kind of been, I mean, I paired for double hets in 2018, and just now I'm going to finally have my first few ready to breed next year. So
oh wow,
I may have missed the boat a little bit on that project, but I've got some ideas with confusion and some other stuff of, you know, hopefully being able to put some pattern back into it. I've got some nice confusion, spot nose, yellow belly, double heads and stuff like that. So
yeah, no, I love that geeky stuff. That's like I'm still definitely pushing G-Stripe Clown stuff.
Well, I mean, it was the first double recessive other than Dreamsicle that I saw that I was like, holy shit. You know, and it's just amazing how two reducing genes fight each other that way. And, you know, of course, the trick is to try and make them look different than all of them looking almost the same, you know,
right.
different shades. The same battle monsoons up against, you know what I mean, is, you know, trying to make it something different than just the same snake in a different tone.
Right.
I really like pattern manipulation. I really like the way confusion of spot nose and other like interact with clown. Russo is one of the genes that I've worked a lot in clown, and I think you guys saw the Cinnamon Russo Dark Knight that I sold at Arlington last February before it sold. Summer came over and took a little video of it, but it was when that snake crawled out at the previous Arlington. Actually, my son sent me pictures of it, and I was like, that's got to be all of it. And I didn't see the other Dark Knight hiding underneath it, but you know, but it, you know, it was a male, and it was kind of one of those things that, like, you know, I probably should keep this, but it just
Brian, what's like out of all that stuff, Brian, what's the one thing you're excited to show off at Tinley?
I'm excited to show off some of these confusion clowns. I mean, I was gonna save some of these because, I mean, you know, the word "world's first" gets thrown around a lot, right? Like, it's not that fucking hard to.
It's overused.
It's not that hard to make a world's first. You know, you can pair two shitty things that nobody works with at all, and it's a world's first. But I'm pretty confident that some of these have not been made. About 2 weeks after mine hatched, I saw a Netflix video with Justin showing the same combo. But we had some confusion black pastel spot nose yellow belly clowns. Got a male and a female. Some, you know, confusion Russo spot nose yellow belly clown that, in my opinion, is the nicest clown I've ever hatched. Seeing that in person versus seeing a picture on Morph Market or social media is going to be a completely different experience. It's, to me, I don't want to say it rivals the Pompeii, but it's right up there. And I think, you know, just the way that reacts. I like Russo better.
I'm so biased to the Pompeii, you know.
Oh, well, you got to be. I mean, right?
That's my baby.
I mean, and the Pompeii is amazing. And I'm not, you know, again, I'm not saying it's better, but I'm just saying it's one of those snakes that when it crawls, you know, that is cool. And, you know, so I've got that one. You know, I got the same thing with Cinnamon, you know, confusion spot nose, Cinnamon yellow belly clown, then some confusion Russo yellow belly. A lot of confusion clowns are going to be coming to Tinley, and, you know, they're coming down in price. They're coming down in price. And I mean, I think right now that's the biggest struggle, right? Like, what is something worth? You know, I mean, it's, you can look at, you know, confusion, you know, single confusion male clown on Morph Market, and with the one that popped up in the last few days, you can go anywhere from $975 to $3,000, you know, and when you start adding genes to it, then, you know, it's all over the place too. So, I mean, it's like we always say in the car business, man, you know, sales, the value of something's what somebody's willing to pay for it, even if it takes a little while. But if it takes too long, you're probably too high, you know, and it's time to make a move. I know some of my stuff is priced a little higher than it should be. Some's a lot higher because it's a holdback price that I really just kind of wanted to get it on Morph Market to show the potential for some of the other stuff that I had, in the hopes that some of the lower end stuff would sell and these wouldn't sell, because I really don't want to sell them. But if somebody will pay what they're listed for, I would.
Brian, What about like the auction side of stuff on Morph Market? Have you had some success at all there?
You know, I have. I've only had one. You know, honestly, my experience with that guy was on a regular inquiry. That wasn't even an auction. He didn't screw up an auction of mine.
Yeah,
that
he
was
screwed
just
it up for the rest of us.
Yeah, it was just icing on the cake. But the you know, the first one I ran a reserve auction, and you know, it missed reserve by $50. And, you know, I really wish I would have ran no reserve, because if I could contact that person right now, I'd be like, hey, do you still want it? But I mean, I'm kind of using it differently than some. I don't know how to feel about the higher end stuff being on there, because I feel like even though there's no historical record of it, you know, everybody and their brother knows that, you know, 2 different, you know, DG clown males sold for around the $2,000 mark on there. So, I mean, that's going to be perceived by some as the new value, and maybe it is. You know, I don't know. I treat it a little bit differently. I'm going from the lowest price stuff up, you know, kind of doing it more like a wholesale to the public kind of thing. And I've been surprised, you know, I mean, I've had stuff bringing well over what I had it priced on the table at shows so far. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I hate that auctions are necessary. I see why they are, though. You know, so I'm mixed. I see both ends of the spectrum. I see both sides of things. I think auctions themselves are not a bad thing, because I mean, the entire time I was coming up, the Facebook auctions were rolling. I mean, they were everywhere.
Yeah,
but
I remember the reptile auction group was like a daily thing for me.
But I don't remember people auctioning premium animals. You know, that I think
pretty rare.
I think if I have a problem with it, it's not in the way it's been implemented, it's in the way it's being utilized. I think that's probably the best way I could say it.
Yeah, I know Will from RCR put you know, quite the banger on there this week. I think he has like a pastel DG pied that's that clown.
Yeah,
you know, great animal. High-end animal, but I think it's at a pretty reasonable, you know, I think I think it ends tomorrow, if I remember right.
What's it at right now? Let's go check.
I was actually just wondering
I
that.
did a search for it. I thought it, like, all I did was filtered by Desert Ghost. He must not have it tagged right, because I thought he must have did a 24-hour auction or something.
He did a 3-day. Somebody in the comments will probably beat me to it, but I'm looking now.
Yeah, I'm curious myself. It was
right around like $5. I want to say it was close to $5,000 when I last looked at it.
Oof. Okay.
Did I bring this up, and now I'm on my computer. I can do it from my phone so much faster. I rarely do Morph Market on my computer, so I feel lost right now.
It's at 36.55.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So
with no reserve.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you're gonna get the last of that bids right, like in the last hour, whatever. And so
on a snake like that, you should.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, the thing about auctions that, you know, I mean, you know, Will's got a pretty deep coffer of snakes to offer. So I mean, you know, taking a little bit of a hit on one to take a chance with it, I understand why he would do that. But you know, at the same time, you know, working that project, that's an animal that I could use. I've got pastel on my female side of things, and 3 out of 4 of my females that should breed next year. So that's a little bit of a concern, you know, but I'm kind of going the approach of longer odds on the recessives, putting multiple codoms in, test, hold back the best, and then the next round of babies should be the bangers. You know what I mean? Like, otherwise I would just be making pastel, super pastel. I think the only codom I've got in there is leopard, you know, that's going to be ready to breed next year. You know, there's a base triple hat, a pastel triple hat, and 2 pastel leopard triple hats, you know, so
yeah.
You know, I held back a Orange Dream Inchy gravel triple hat that I made last year that, you know, I'm probably going to end up, unless I just get something crazy laid in my lap, because I've got some other investments I need to do outside the purchasing of animals, or the purchasing of ball pythons anyway. And you know, I'm going to take some longer odd shots, you know.
Those are the more fun ones. Come on, those are
well,
the
they
fun
are.
ones.
They are. My son always said when he was interested in more than, you know, cars. Now he's road biking and girls, and he's in the Pride of Southland band, so he's all over the place with that. And he always he hated whenever I would do a clown to clown pairing, because he'd be like, well, we know they're all going to be clowns. I'm like, yeah, but there's 5 codons involved. You don't know what they're going to look like. I mean, some of these are things I haven't seen. And that's what
Has your son went to band camp?
One time at band camp. No. Yeah, he's been to band camp every year since the 7th grade.
I want to hear his band camp stories.
I have a feeling it would be pretty fucking boring compared to what you're expecting.
Yeah, Troy, band camp's not exciting.
Man,
like in reality,
I did some interesting things at church camp, and so I got.
Well, yeah, church camp is very different than band camp's not as exciting as you're hoping. Sorry, bud.
I was never in the band. I don't know what band camp's like.
I'm telling you, it's not exciting.
I lost my virginity in a church at a church lock-in. So
there we go.
Nice.
There you go.
Yes, I did most of my first.
Why the fuck are we talking about snakes then, and we're not talking about that situation, Brian?
Yeah.
That is way more interesting.
I don't
back on
remember
track
the
with
details.
Troy.
It was like 9th grade.
I don't remember the details. I'll bet she
I
appreciates
remember all
that.
the details.
I don't remember her name.
Troy, it's a little different when it's only happened like twice.
To say, but I don't. I mean, it was.
Yeah.
That's
a
not
spur of
true,
the moment
Patrick.
thing.
It was once, and he married her. Okay?
My first French kiss was at church camp, and I was terrified because the girl had braces, and it was interesting.
That's only bad if you have braces too, though, because then you can get locked up.
Yeah, I was just really scared of her braces. I was in 5th grade or some shit, and yeah, her name was Meredith.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is Lisa still listening?
Lisa knows all my shit, dude. Yeah. And
She
then
does.
across right out this window is my buddy has a brewery. His name's Nate, and Nate and I go back to elementary school. And at church camp, I went through all of my bases, my first ones too, with his cousin. And so every day I walk in there and I bring it up. And so
Do you just do you just kick open the door and you're like, I fucked your cousin?
Sort of. It's a little different. I try to be a little more funny about it.
Oh, do you? Because that just feels like you.
Pretty funny.
Yeah.
I feel like I can just see Troy busting down the doors and he's like, I fucked your cousin.
It's usually I'll walk in and I'll be like, hey, Nate, remember when I touched your cousin's titties for the first time at church camp? And then the bar will start laughing and they'll look at him and look at me. And then it's a funny little moment.
Okay.
Because monks talk shit, right? I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's hear more of Brian's church camp stories.
No, I didn't get any church camps. I
met my wife at church camp.
I grew up in a small town.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I'm not a, I don't know. Last thing I want to talk about is religion. I grew up in a very, very strict Southern Baptist church that, kind of scarred me for life. And once I got away from that and I realized how important my Sundays were to me. I mean, I know there's something out there greater than myself, but I feel closer to that when I'm on the lake on Sunday, spending time with the family on the boat in nature than I ever have in a building. So
it's all right, Brian. We know you're a godless heathen. It's fine.
Hey.
I'm just fucking.
Hey, really quick
I'm just fucking with you.
Off track moment with Troy here.
No, you already had your time.
No.
You're done.
It's all about you.
No.
This is about you, Patrick, you big-headed son of a bitch.
Is it good or bad? Is it good or bad?
It's both.
Muted.
Oh, shit.
I went to a reptile show, and I listened to a guy this weekend talk about his grandfather being on the Trail of Tears.
Okay.
And
I'm really worried where this is going.
I said really nice things about you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I do appreciate that.
He actually looked a little more Indian than you, but
I'm sure he did.
He was a little more tanner.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Did he have as many cherry moles as I do?
I don't know what those are.
We can talk about it later.
Show us.
Well, when Patrick and I first met, I was like,
the cameras. I'll show it to you there. So cherry moles are it's a Cherokee thing. I'll show you. Anyway, what were you saying, Brian? Go.
I was just saying, the first time we met, I mean, I was like, you're Native American, right? I could
immediately.
Yeah. Patrick and I got to know each other over a very bad situation in the 2020 season, and we still to this day have a chat going called Incubator Struggles. And we kind of worked through some problems we had with incubation that year. And he had heard me on another podcast mention that I'd had a problem, and he's like, I had the same problem. And then it turned out several other people had the same problem. And even though there was no admission of anything being wrong anywhere, I think the problem has been fixed now. So, maybe we did something good there for somebody else. I don't know.
I hope
Patrick,
so,
can
man.
you tell the rest of us what you've been on your phone doing all night, by the way? What's going on? We want to know.
My wife is traveling and giving me updates. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, sorry guys. So she abandoned me to go back to the motherland, and she's been traveling. So
I bet she's sleeping with somebody else this weekend.
probably. I mean,
Where's
look,
Chase going
it
this
is what it
weekend?
is. All right, who's snoring? Somebody's snoring.
No, it's the TV.
Oh, it's the TV.
Yes.
Okay. It's all right. It's all right. It sounded like snoring.
No.
Yeah, definitely the wife's cheating on me, but that's okay. I mean, what happens in Texas stays in Texas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it is?
It's what I say every February and September.
Yeah, and I honestly, like, she works with a lot of like
April.
super wealthy people. So like, I'm kind of always encouraged her to get knocked up by one of them because I think it would just really work out well for both of us.
This
You
could
know?
really work out for us, dear.
Talk about a new facility. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Get all that paid off.
So Amelia helped design the Cowboy Stadium when they were building it, and so she was spending a lot of time with Jerry, a whole lot of time with Jerry. And like one night, I was kind of like, "Hey, like, has he hit on you?" She's like, "No, why?" I was like, "I could really just use some billionaire money. So like, if he makes a move, I'm not going to be upset. Just make it count." She's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" So that's
I don't know, like she hangs out with that stellar of people, and she ended up with your dumbass.
Give him a 2-hour bet so he can eat his mint.
Yeah, exactly right. Troy, I often wonder what I did to deserve Baggins. Like, if you know Amelia, you understand how far I outkicked my coverage on every level. So, she knows it and she tolerates me, so it's okay. She's settled. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, well, I mean, she's also covering up what you and Andre really have going on. So,
this is a new rumor here.
Oh, I'll tell you all about it, Brian. Wait till we get to Tinley.
Yeah, Brian, I don't think it's a new rumor, if we're being
I was
honest.
going to say, I don't remember it being new at all.
Yeah, this has been around.
A new to me rumor.
If you go to dinner with Patrick and Andre, and long enough, like if people that don't really know them, at some point somebody's going to ask you, like, "Hey, are they together?" And then I'd be like, "Who are you talking about?" Because Patrick's wife's right there, and they'll be like, "No, are him and Andre together?" And then I'll have to be like, "Well, I mean, I don't know. Just as much as Chase and my wife are. I don't know."
So they trigger the gaydar pretty hard.
Hey, look, Jacob even says he was at that dinner. He knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Of course, Jacob.
JT always tells a joke that he finds it humorous when Andre and I talk, because Andre doesn't really talk. He just is like, or like, yeah. And I'm interpreting all of the uh-huhs and yes exactly as you would in a marriage, where I'm like, what? Like, what's wrong with it? And he's like, and you're like, but seriously, like, what's, why don't you like that? And you're like, yeah. And you're like, okay, fine. We can do it this way then. And so JT definitely is a strong proponent of the Andre and I are married.
Well, I've only met him a couple of times. Like the time we met, I met to pick up a snake. Like I bought a snake from Andre, like at the height of COVID, and as opposed to shipping, it was pretty high-end animal. So we're like, well, let's just meet. I mean, it's 2.5 hours for me, 2.5 hours for you guys. It's not that far. And so we met, and I met him then. And then when I saw him at Tinley, I was like, how did you get him to pull this off? Because Andre's pretty introverted, it seems. So I mean, he doesn't
a little bit,
a lot,
a little bit.
Saw him at the show, and I was like, man. The first thing I did was cracked on him, of course. And
yeah, of course, as you should.
Then,
yeah.
Oh yeah, and then he was just kind of like smiled. He's like, oh yeah, here.
He's pretty good stuff though. Once you get if you get talking with him, man, he's definitely the better part of him and Patrick's relationship.
Oh, far and away. That's not even like a question. Like, yeah, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm a big proponent of, I believe that every introvert ends up getting kidnapped by an extrovert who forces them to be social. And
That's exactly
unfortunately,
it.
yeah, and unfortunately for Andre, I'm that extrovert that has kidnapped him. So when y'all see him at shows, it's not because he wants to be there. It's because I've kidnapped him and forced him to come. So, you know.
Yeah,
Well,
Patrick
it
kidnapped
shows.
him, forced him to come be together in a hotel
Yeah.
room with one bed.
But it shows that something about the dynamic of a reptile show that makes me do things I wouldn't otherwise do. I mean, it's like, like I don't normally drink a lot, and I go to shows and I get plowed every night. I mean, it's like we're gonna go to bed early and we're still sitting in the fucking Sheraton at 2 a.m. with a cooler, I mean, and VIP opens at 7:30 and I'm like, we haven't even left the hotel. Why are we even doing this? You know what I mean? We've got to be up at 7:30 and then we feel like shit after the auction. So we go in on Thursday most shows. We're going to start leaving even a little bit earlier. And, so it's a pattern of go hard Thursday, go light Friday, go hard Saturday, sleep in Sunday because the doors don't open till 10, and then decide what we're going to do. The Dallas shows or Arlington, whatever.
Chase calls something else going hard on Thursday and Friday and Saturday, and it involves my wife.
Jesus. Wherever the fuck the Texas show ends up being or whatever's going on. I mean, I just that's such a far drive that we generally just stay the night Sunday and leave early in the morning, unless it's warm enough to leave the snakes in the car overnight. I'm not unloading 8 displays of snakes in Memphis.
Oh, it sucks. Yeah,
Bring them into a hotel room just to sleep 6 or 7 hours and then reload them up. I'd rather drive the entire stint in one, but I can't do it after the show. I'm fucking exhausted. So,
What do you, Brian? What's your feelings on Dallas?
Man, I don't know what they are yet. I mean, there's been so much. I mean, the move itself is concerning. The fact that, when we got there Thursday and what is this, spring? So that would have been the September show. When we got there at the fall show, we got there Thursday. It was maybe 5 o'clock. We were checking in. We were getting on the elevator, and Potter and Bob were jumping on with us, and they were like, "We just closed the deal on the new place, and where we're going to be moving to." And that's I didn't know why they were moving. I mean, and then I found out it was going to become an art gallery. It wasn't their choice, to move, and I was a little bit disappointed at the lack of, I mean, there was a few announcements over the loudspeaker that nobody listens to, but I mean, I would have liked to have seen that planned out a little better. Maybe every vendor badge and VIP had an announcement on it. Maybe there was flyers to people to put on their table and things at the door and, like that. And I mean, there was very little mention of it. And, I don't know. I mean, I'm cautiously optimistic that it'll be a decent show, but with the law and the people that can't bring their animals and all that stuff, I just don't know. That's always been our best show. I mean, even though it's our furthest drive, one of the reasons why I haven't done very good at Tinley is because all the best stuff always sells at Arlington. I mean, and by the time I get to Tinley, it's leftovers.
It's funny about how your furthest drive, like that's the same for me, Brian. I do best at California.
Yeah,
right.
I consider that almost my home show. Even though it's the furthest drive, I know more people there. More people know me there. More people come to see us. We have regulars that come back every show and spend really good money with us. And I mean, we're thankful for all that support down there. I mean, I would do more Texas shows if I could. I absolutely love it. Tinley, I think probably. I don't know, like it's small fish, big pond, kind of thing too. But, where we are on the back 40, in the 200 section, I can't bitch much. Will Moroza's table is right across from me. So it's not like I'm getting, got shitty treatment. And I was very lucky to even get a table. But I bet we don't see 30% of the door, that walks past our table just because we're so far in the back. And I was hoping Will would vend in the spring. He's kind of waffling now a little bit, but I was hoping he would, because that would draw some traffic back our way and we would be the more affordable option for something almost as good, kind of like where people can walk across the aisle. But for the outside the show hours, Tinley is probably my favorite show. But for the actual show itself, I've always downgraded Arlington. Our 4 best shows ever were Arlington shows, not even close. But I also realized Tinley has a little bit of a different purpose than Arlington is a show to network and sell. Tinley's more of a networking show. So like I enjoy Tinley a lot more outside show hours than I do during show hours, if that makes sense. Where in Arlington I enjoy, or Dallas or whatever, I enjoy the entirety of the experience,
Yeah. I know we all really enjoyed Arlington, and hopefully, Chase and all of us will still be able to drive over for a baseball game or something. It's not too terribly far away, but it was nice to, walk out and be there. And I really enjoyed my time. I really enjoyed my time in Arlington, and I'm curious how this whole Dallas thing will go. But
it was almost sad
I guess
the
time
last
will tell.
night. I mean, we kind of all stayed in and kind of blew it out with Jesus and the guys at the bar, one last time because they've been there forever. We've seen them every trip down. They look forward to us coming in.
Yeah.
We had really good money that week. Usually it's on my birthday weekend, so we go kind of stupid, when we get down there. But it's a lot of fun, cautiously optimistic, but I think no boas other than red tail. I don't even know how they're going to fucking define that. Like, what is a red tail boa? That's not a species. That's a nickname. I mean, it's but and no pythons except ball pythons. I mean, that's kind of crazy. No rosy boas and stuff like that.
It'll be interesting, man. Yeah,
that makes no sense.
Yeah.
But if they're going to move it, they got to get out of Dallas city limits, right? Because that's a city ordinance.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter where in the city you go.
The lovely people at EH Exotics just commenting there, that there's a lot of stuff to do at that location as well. And and Patrick, you probably know that. I've checked that out. We've ate down that way, and
the new location is actually a pretty awesome area. It's up in the art district, the museum district. Like it's a cool area of Dallas for sure.
Okay.
I wasn't sure.
Anybody that wants to go to medieval times, it's literally like 3 minutes away.
I'm going to miss our Airbnb though.
It was nice to be close. It's so I hadn't looked up the actual venue till a little bit ago. It's only like 20 minutes away from the ballpark. So like fortunately we can still make treks to the ballpark for the game and do stuff like that. But
to be honest, I thought about keeping the same Airbnbs and just driving, but we're staying at the hotel this time. We're staying at the Holiday Inn, like my crew is. I don't know about you guys, but
that's where I'm staying.
Yeah. Chase, are you coming?
I may go to hang out.
Yeah.
But I actually may drag Molly with me.
If you want to go to hang out, Chase, you have a place to stay for free. You just have to deal with like a 40-minute commute, which is fine, but it's free. So if that is an issue,
Chase, I will buy you a room before making you drive 40 minutes.
I mean, it's $105 a night. I'd do the same.
I mean, it's not that bad.
Where I was like, $105 a night. That's kind of, And a couple people came up to the show and told me, they're like, don't leave your money or anything in the car in this area. Don't walk after dark in this area. And I'm like, dude, I'm from Memphis. Like, you can't.
Yeah, it's not.
Man,
it's
so sketchy.
Yeah, it's not that.
And I mean,
it's not that bad though.
And,
typically Chase and I both have a gun on us, so we're relatively safe.
Oh, I mean, who doesn't have a gun on them?
Yeah, it's Texas.
Bet they don't have a gun on them.
Did you just say Patrick?
Yeah, Patrick.
I'm pretty sure they give those out at the.
You don't. I was about to say, Troy. Obviously, you don't realize the armory that's here.
45.
Yeah.
No, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm also looking forward to Tinley being the first show because that's kind of a weird thing to me, because we don't. That's kind of the only shows we do are in ARBC. I had kind of sworn off shows because the local shows in our area they're just not that. You're not doing branding and you're not doing anything other than, basically wholesaling low-end animals to the public. And I can do that at home with my family with, a few auctions and run some sales on some cheap stuff. You know what I mean? It's, I don't like the biggest thing I enjoy about the shows is like seeing everyone that, I chat with and talk to almost on a weekly basis. Some people damn near a daily basis. But there's only those 4, 5, 6 times a year. that we get to actually hang out in person, and it's at those shows. And I mean, they're my 6 favorite weekends of the year. There's no doubt. I've got some conflicts this fall. I'm not sure how that's going to pan out because, Brody being in the Pride of the Southland band, we bought season tickets to the Vols. They're not inexpensive seats. I'm sure we could sell them, but our biggest game of the year to me is the same weekend as Fall Tinley, and it also falls right in line with when I have the shittiest selection. So I'm leaning towards subletting for that one show. And St. Louis, I'm just not sure. I mean, I'm honestly not sure if I'm going to keep that one going or not. We've done okay there, but it's such a gauntlet after it's that third show through that third month in a row for me is just kind of tough because no matter where we go, it's a multi-day production. You know what I mean? To get there and get back home and get animals put away, and the last St. Louis was just not very good for me at all. Troy had a good show.
I did.
If I walk in an NARBC show on a Sunday morning to a goose egg, it's like that's not what I drove 8 hours to do. I understand the shows aren't all about sales, but if it wasn't for Emily and Ed and the stat book we had at the booth, we could have gone hours, without talking to a single person. And that's, I don't know if that one's going to catch on or not. I mean, I hope it does. I mean, and if it does, we'll keep doing it. We'll probably still do Schaumburg in July just because that's a fun show and a nice area to go to. So
yeah, Schaumburg's got a cool just area around it, like really cool places.
Yeah, that's a hangout show. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to bend there this time, but I'm coming to hang out.
We actually
that one time we did Schaumburg, we really loved it.
Yeah, I just don't have enough inventory. Like I've just come back from Pomona, and then obviously all the shows we're heading to right now, right? So by the time I come out of Pomona, man, July will be a hangout.
What's crazy for me is about 80% of my stuff hatches after September 15th. So we're going to have, I don't know. We've got 6 that are done now. Just had our first pre-lay shed today. So, things are starting to pop off in there, but it won't really start popping off with a bunch of ovulations until July and August. July and August, it's been consistent every single year. I don't know if it's the temperature of my room or the altitude where we are or what, but Patrick's got he coaches all his females to lay in the same 3-week window or something.
That's it, man. 60 clutches in 3 weeks. Let's do it.
And mine, I've pulled 21 clutches in a 10-day period in October before.
Nice.
It's just crazy how late they go, when they do go. But that leaves me with not much left available because what I've got, between the 2 spring shows, the Schaumburg show, online sales, that kind of stuff, kind of leaves you with picked over stuff to take to, the fall shows. So if I got to miss a show, the fall show is probably a better show for me to miss.
Yeah.
Feel that. We are getting close to the hour-and-a-half limit, so I have a Chat GPT story all done up here.
Oh, shit. All right. It's a surprise. So, I'm ready for it.
So it was write a story about Brian having a big brain, and that being the reason his wife married him. So we'll see how this goes. Obviously, we can, replace some words there. Brian was known far and wide for his colossal cranium. Not just for its impressive circumference, but for the prodigious intellect it housed, if you know what I mean. It was said that his brain was so large he had to custom order his hats from a tent maker. When asked why she married Brian, his wife would chuckle and say, "I always dreamed of a big house, and with Brian's massive brain, I figured we'd never run out of space for ideas." Indeed, their life together was an endless adventure of quirky inventions and brainy banter, proving that love in their case was truly a no-brainer.
Oh, that was
that's
nice
rough.
Pun at the ending there.
Yeah, that's rough.
Maybe not the best one, but it's okay.
That's okay. You know what? We tried.
We can't win them all, right?
Troy's over story time.
I think we're at a 5% win rate currently, so it's fine.
It's tough.
Oh yeah. Well, there's been some good ones. They put so many limits on you, like you can't talk about like
Hookers
death or
and murder.
drugs
Yeah,
or
Yeah,
that's
whatever it
terrible.
is, or-
Lisa being a
you know what I
hooker.
mean? Like
Yeah.
all the like best things, the most fun things in life. ChatGPT is just say no. You know,
That's
pulling
it.
a Nancy Reagan on us and shit.
Things are about to get interesting for the cinematic world because of OpenAI's Sora. I assume no one has seen that yet, but
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah.
OpenAI is the company that is the creators of ChatGPT, and they've been working on something called Sora, which is text to video. So you type in a word prompt and it makes videos, and everyone should go just watch
That's
the
next
YouTube
level.
video. No,
That's
guys.
next level.
So Tyler Perry was working on an $800 million like renovation of like his studios, and he halted it because of Sora. He said there's no need.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the videos are incredible. Like, it's worrisome. I think it's great.
that's
It's gonna be
wild.
worrisome for some people. So anyway,
Take over everything, taking over the world.
it's pretty great, man. I'm a big fan of it. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. It's pretty unreal. Like, it's intense.
That's crazy.
So,
I'm gonna have to look it up.
yeah. All right. Before I forget, let's see here. I'm supposed to mention herb collectors. So they're going to be nice and promote us. So we're obviously going to promote them because they do incredible stuff up there.
I was just over there a minute ago.
Yeah, man, they
Right
do.
before the show.
It's so great, right? So they're
Really
on
good show, good positive show. I like that.
right 8 p.m. on Thursdays. Make sure, guys, you go like, subscribe, watch them, and then immediately after that, come hang out with us. We're a lot of fun too.
It works
If
out
you,
well.
yeah, it's perfect, right? It's a good solid 4 hours of snake and other bullshit talk. It's fantastic. If you haven't liked and subscribed yet, please go forth, like, subscribe, and share this. The more people that come hang out with us, the more fun we all have. Brian, what's the best way for people to get a hold of you?
My phone number's on Morph Market, man. Give me a call, give me a text, send me an email, Morph Market, Instagram, Facebook, bcsballs.com. I mean, if you search BC's Balls, you're going to find us because Google is optimized.
Sweet, man. That's awesome. Chase, what'd you learn today?
I learned that Brian's got a lot of cool stuff going on. I'm looking forward to seeing some of your Confusion Clown combos, man. Keep me
I
updated.
can't wait to show them to you, man.
Troy, did you learn anything?
That Brian stuck a flute in his butthole at band camp.
Yep, I learned that too.
I think I
Brian,
missed
what'd
that
you learn
part.
today?
It was a piccolo, Troy.
Yeah, my sister played the piccolo.
It was your sister's piccolo.
Oh,
But no, I'm just kidding. Well, there's no way we would have been at band camp at the same time. I don't know that I learned it. Oh, I learned
God damn it,
whatever
Brian.
I learned whatever the fuck you said. The AI thing. I don't know.
Oh, there we go.
see.
Sora. Okay.
Yeah.
He's holding on to that
I
lesson.
learned
Yeah,
that
he's
they-
going to hold on to that lesson. Yeah.
I learned,
What about
I
you,
learned that
Patrick?
AI is taking over the movie world.
There it is. And I learned that Brian has a big brain. Next week, I believe we have KG from Bomb.
we do have
Clones?
KG. Yeah.
It's gonna be
Yep.
fun.
KG.
All right.
And then the week after that, we have Megan.
Yes, from Megaconda.
Yep.
Yeah. So we got a couple of good guests coming up. Brian, thank you so much for coming on and hanging out with
Yeah,
us.
man.
It was
Thank you
fun.
guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, man.
It was a good time. You know.
Thanks, man.
I
Awesome.
love the show, and I'm glad to be on it.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it. Chat, thank you for hanging out with us.
Hey, by
And
the way, we've never named the chat. I've been kind of called out on it, and we need to do that.
okay,
That's true. Okay.
so we were
by next
supposed
week.
to have a name, and yeah. Anyway, we dropped the ball on that. I had some options, but they weren't good. So we need to workshop them.
We got to come up with something good.
Because the chat
We'll
room
get polished up for
munchers,
next
while
week.
it's fun, is not going to work.
The chat room match.
So, yeah, we'll have a name for you, chat row. I promise.
You know what? I like High Viz, a naming contest.
Yeah.
Send us your
Yeah,
I
we
like
can
that.
we can absolutely do that, guys. Absolutely. So, all right, till next week, guys. Thank you. We love y'all. I love
Yeah.
you guys.
Thanks, Brian.
And
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me and everybody that came to watch my
Yeah, man.
old boring ass talk about snakes a little bit and a bunch of other crazy shit. So
It was a good
that's
time.
it, brother. All right, guys. Bye, everyone. We'll see y'all next week.